Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, you should be excited today. As you can tell by the thumbnail of the video, the title, I'm sure the news flow that you've seen throughout the hobby, you know by now, Fanatics has bought TOPPS, and it's such a lovely day. We'll talk in the next segment about a little bit of the minutia of the deal, and some of you that are interested in understanding the history of TOPPS ownership and what this means from a company perspective. You want to hang around for the other segments, but I'm guessing most of you are just collectors out there, and you love your cards, you love opening packs, you love collecting your favorite players, and so we'll talk about that really quickly. So first of all, let's just start to dream really quick. In a couple years, we're going to have TOPPS Chrome football, TOPPS Chrome basketball, TOPPS Finest basketball, TOPPS Finest football, Bowman Chrome football and basketball again. It is super exciting. And think about it as well. The last time I think we had TOPPS Chrome basketball was when Steph Curry was a rookie. So it's been a long time. Now look, NFL and NBA, unless Fanatics makes a deal to buy Panini, which I would absolutely not put that past them. I would actually guess that's exactly what Fanatics/TOPPS wants to do. They want to roll the whole industry up and buy as many of these companies as they possibly can. Because we'll talk about what an incredible deal that Fanatics got TOPPS for from a price perspective. But we are going to have some of the best cards that we've seen in years. And my point was with the NBA, look, we'll probably see the first TOPPS Chrome basketball card of Luka, of all these stars that a lot of you have been collecting and been fans of over the last couple of years, really since Steph Curry was a rookie. Well, we're going to see their first TOPPS Chrome cards, their first TOPPS Finest cards, their first Bowman cards. And that, while they won't be technically rookies, I think those will absolutely be valuable and probably be worth collecting. Certainly if you're a collector and you like to collect cards, those absolutely will be something I will be looking to get as well. But in the shorter term, TOPPS and Fanatics are now a team. TOPPS only has the license to make baseball cards, F1 cards, certain soccer cards. That will not change. My guess is over the next 3 to 6 months, you're not likely to see anything different with the sets themselves, the cards themselves. I think what you will see is a little bit of a change in how they're distributed to you, the collector. And so obviously, as you know, the Josh Luber is in control of Fanatics, which is now in control of TOPPS. And one of the things he brought to StockX were these quote IPOs. And I thought it was really interesting how they did it. They actually let you choose the price. So like, for example, there was a Bowman Chrome X box that included, I think, one graded card. And what you were allowed to do is basically bid on it. So if you wanted to pay $50 a box, $100 a box, $150 a box, you would put your bid in. And what they would actually do is go through, and actually a lower price would win. It's actually the opposite of Panini's model. So Panini starts at a high price and then goes down and down and down. And what ends up happening is everybody basically pays a higher price except for like 1 or 2 people down at the bottom. So it's not a consumer-friendly model. And I think Josh Luber will continue the model where it's more of a Dutch auction where you win it at what is conceivably kind of a fair market value, at least of what people bid on the product. So I think we'll see some products distributed that way. That will certainly be exciting. I think the information flow will get a lot better because look, do you even know who the TOPPS CEO is? Do you know his name? Have you ever seen him? Have you ever seen him say anything? No, he was an idiot. He was a moron. How many great companies out there do you not know who the CEO is? Never heard him talk, don't know what he stands for. That's why TOPPS sucked over the last few years. They had terrible leadership, terrible management, terrible employees. Now you're going to have somebody in charge that actually will hold these people accountable. And I think we'll see some great things. Now, if you have outstanding redemptions with TOPPS, today has got to be one of the best days. Because if I had a Mike Trout outstanding redemption, a Ronald Acuna outstanding redemption, a Vladimir Guerrero, anything, Buster Posey, anybody outstanding redemption, I would have been really concerned. Because as it stood before Fanatics took over TOPPS, you might have lost your redemption, okay? You might have lost the ability to get that card because TOPPS was going to lose the ability to make baseball cards at the end of 2022. And now we can all take a sigh of breath of relief and know that that's not going to happen. How these redemption cards and how that whole backflow is going to be worked out, I am not sure. But we are going to see a more integrated TOPPS as well. Tell you what, if I was PSA, if I was SGC or any of these HGA, I mean, they're terrible. Any of these graded companies, I would be worried, because guess what's coming? TOPPS graded slabbed cards. Okay, the only company out there that I can think of that has probably a stronger brand, that could have a stronger brand inside the grading industry, is probably TOPPS, because there's so many of you out there that are so attached to the TOPPS brand and trust that brand and trust that company. Well, imagine if they start grading your cards. Imagine if you can get a TOPPS card and then slab it in a TOPPS slab and have them graded. I think that's going to be exciting, and that's absolutely going to come at some point. Okay, now it's going to take a little while. Again, I wouldn't expect any major changes from TOPPS and through Fanatics for the first couple of months. A lot of these products that have been planned are already in the works. We also have that labor shortage thing, or labor stoppage thing, excuse me, in the MLB. So we've got to get that worked through as well. But guys, the sun isn't out quite yet out here in California, but wherever you are in this hobby, the sun is shining. It's a wonderful day. Fanatics now owns TOPPS. That is an absolutely great thing for this hobby. So let's talk quickly about the deal that Fanatics just pulled off, okay? They just bought TOPPS, just the card company. So for those of you who don't know, TOPPS was actually a candy company like Ring Pops and Bazooka Gum, I believe. And they also owned, obviously, all the trading cards, the baseball, the F1, the soccer. And those are two separate businesses under the TOPPS name. Well, Fanatics just bought the card company, and they bought it for about $500 million. And TOPPS did about $550 million. I'll put a link to the description in the description below, but I'll put it up here as well. TOPPS did about $550 million worth of sales this time last year. And so what does that mean? First of all, is if you own a group breaking company, or if you own a card store, if you own a website, it's worth about one-time sales. That's what it's worth. Okay, period. End of story. Okay, and so if you think your business is worth more, look, I had Brian Gray tweeting me last night. I know this deal is over $1 billion. I've turned down 2 times sales for Leaf. He's full of crap. This guy's full of crap. Look, I like Brian Gray, but he's full of crap. He makes unlicensed trading cards. That's what he does. He's really a glorified collector. When you see him at the National, he's buying cards, selling cards. I respect him from that sense, but this guy literally has no idea. Look, I have a plaque here on YouTube. Okay, not for this channel. Believe me, I'm making way more money on YouTube than off this channel. I'm making nothing off this channel. I'll put links down in the description below to my channels. If you want to learn about investing, learn about analyzing companies, that's what I do on my channel. And look, this company's worth one-time sales, and that's what Fanatics got. So if you're in this business, that's what your company is worth, max. It's worth about one-time sales. So what does this mean, though? A lot of people don't realize is for the last 15 years or so, since about 2007, 2008 was when TOPPS changed hands to private equity. So Madison Dearborn Partners, a lot of people think Michael Eisner owned TOPPS. Michael Eisner's group owned 25% of TOPPS, and my guess, out of Michael Eisner's personal wealth, he probably owned low single digits of this company. Okay, he actually put together a group of investors that could only acquire 25% of TOPPS. Who owned TOPPS? 75% was Madison Dearborn Partners. But the other major portion was the fact that the company had $230 million worth of debt. It was actually the debt holders, the bond holders, that actually owned TOPPS. So there's a lot of you out there that say, hey, I can't pronounce Luka Doncic's name. I can't pronounce Giannis Antetokounmpo's name. Look, I could go on for an hour about interest rate policy, valuations, monetary policy, Federal Reserve, valuations of companies. That's how you make money in this world. How many of you guys are making money pronouncing Luka Doncic's name properly? Seriously, how many of you guys are making money doing that? None of you. So shut the hell up and get focused on making money. That's really what you should be doing. And so that's what this is all about. And what Fanatics did and what they pulled off was absolutely fantastic. They're going to make a lot of money. But my point is, over the last 15 years, what does private equity do? Again, I could go on for an hour for this, but I'll save a lot of you guys because you're more worried about how to pronounce a basketball player's name that you've never met. Okay, what does private equity do when they buy a company? They don't invest in the company. Again, we talked about how the top CEO is a moron, an idiot. You never heard him. That's because he's making $65,000 a year in Manhattan. He's basically broke. He's like on the poverty line, okay? Because the TOPPS offices are in Manhattan. I guarantee you that guy's not making much more than a junior banker does at Goldman Sachs straight out of college. And he's a, quote, CEO. Now we're actually going to see investment into TOPPS because Madison Dearborn Partners has just been pulling money out. They've been borrowing against the company and pulling money out. It's like a lot of you guys that pull out the equity of your house, okay? Sure, you're still in your house, but you don't own it. You don't own it. And if you were to sell it, you probably wouldn't take home very much money. After closing costs, taxes, fees, all that stuff, you wouldn't, because you've pulled all the money out. And that's what Madison Dearborn Partner has done over the last 15 years with TOPPS. They've just pulled all the money out, paid it out to investors, and that's what they do. I'm not sitting here criticizing Madison Dearborn Partners or Michael Eisner's group at all. That is what they do. That's their job. For the first time in 15 years, we're going to see investment into TOPPS. Fanatics, a lot of you guys saying, oh, Fanatics is going to do a money grab and pull the money out. No, they're not. They just paid one-time sales for the business. They know the only way to get it to be worth more and get value for their investors is to invest in the business. They have to invest in the business because 15 years ago, TOPPS sold for, guess what? One-time sales. 15 years later, they had about the same amount of sales and they sold for one times. That is because no one's been investing in the company. So we're going to see investment for the first time into TOPPS, and it absolutely is going to be exciting. And so Fanatics' plan is, I would guess, over the next 3 to 5 years, is invest heavily into TOPPS, the infrastructure, integrate the model, vertically integrate it. We've been telling you for months here on the channel since Fanatics kind of took over. They're going to vertically integrate the whole thing, okay? From the sales distribution to the grading to the selling to the marketplace of these cards. They're going to take control of that whole thing. They're going to have to invest a massive amount of money into that. There's not going to be a lot of profits and EBITDA, or however you want to measure the profits. There's not going to be a lot of those on this company for the next couple of years. But their goal is after 3 to 5 years, is my guess, is they'll probably want to take this public via one of these SPAC deals or maybe even an IPO. And that is how they're going to extract value out of this company. So they're going to have to grow these sales, but they know they can't do it by just raising the price and gouging you, the collector. They know that strategy is not going to work. They're going to invest in different business models and different techniques to extract money out of you. My guess is a lot of you, probably myself included, probably going to line up and give them quite a bit of our money.